This feels like a big shift because Iran initially said that the missiles came from Saudi Arabia, which would point to a very deep escalation between the two countries. But if it's not Saudi Arabia behind the attacks, who is it?
Very hard to say, and I have to say it's been very, very confusing this morning. So Iran, or at least the Iranian tanker company, came out earlier, and as you said, they said we've been hit by missiles. Those missiles probably came from Saudi Arabia, and they walked that back pretty dramatically within an hour or so when it seemed that no one else was following that theme. So the oil market's come off a little bit, but nonetheless, you have to think about the context here. We had lots of attacks on Saudi oil infrastructure and on tankers off the Emirati coast. So it's within that theme of an escalation of attacks on oil infrastructure and oil shipping that has that premium in the price. And as you mentioned earlier, now has that geopolitical premium evaporated? I would argue no, because if you look at the demand picture for oil, we probably should be substantially lower than where we are on the oil price. So I would argue that these ongoing tensions are still being seen in the oil price. We haven't sold off just yet. And again, every time one of these incidents happen, however murky it is, if you're an oil trader, you have to be thinking about what might happen next.
Right, so, Stuart, even though all sides so far have said they want to avoid war, is this wider conflict just much more of a risk to disruption? So what does it mean when you trade? Does the range of the oil price actually widen significantly?
Yes, I think so. And again, the rhetoric we're getting on the demand side is not terrific. But you have to think about it in these terms. So yes, both sides clearly don't want to go to war. That's in neither side's interest. But when you have a big military build-up in a region and you have these sort of relatively small-scale attacks on pipelines, tankers, refineries, processing centres, the risk of something going wrong, one of those missiles or UAVs somehow hitting the wrong target, really increases the risk of things escalating much more dramatically than they are now.